Tim Hudak Show continues on the Bell Talk Radio Network.
So I'm walking into my basement. I got a few pictures I've taken off the wall, put up some new ones, putting them there in storage. I turn to my right, hear a noise, look up, and staring into the beady little eyes. Kind of laughing at me, mocking at me. This is my house, he said. Get out of the basement. A red squirrel. Oh, and it looks so cute. But I understand that the red squirrel is the most demonic, the most destructive, the most vicious and merciless member of the entire squirrel family. Here to help rescue me is Bill Dowd. He's a founder, president, and CEO of Skedaddle. Skedaddle Human Wildlife Control was established in 1989. It recognizes the need for professional urban wildlife focusing on humane removal methods. Since 1989, you have removed 200,000 animals from homes with environment-friendly, poison-free methods since day one. Bill Dowd, welcome back to the Tim Hudak Show.
Welcome. Thanks for having me back.
200,000 animals removed. That's the population of Windsor.
That's a lot of animals.
All right. So
it's a big problem.
Let's break this down. The 200,000. Okay, so you got a Windsor full of animals that you've removed. What is the biggest population in that 200,000?
Probably our famous raccoons and squirrels. Not so much the red squirrels, the black, the gray ones. Reds are a little more unique, but the reds definitely are the most destructive and difficult to deal with. But raccoons and squirrels are our two main staple animals in over every municipality we service across Ontario, Quebec, and the U.S.
And we have you on today here at sort of the fifth day of spring or whatever we're at because busy time of year for you.
It is. It is baby season. So we have seen baby squirrels. We're going to get into baby raccoons, skunks, birds. They're all coming. So now, if you don't have a problem in your home, now is the time to animal-proof your structure.
Okay, so just tell us a little bit about your day. Bill Dowd, the CEO, founder, the president of Skedaddle. Great name. Great logo, great colors. So, I picture you sort of riding around, in the Ghostbuster wagon with nets and ladders on the side, looking for trouble. Is that basically what your day is like?
Exactly. We'll have the phone calls where people have already had a problem over the course of the weekend, whether it's a red squirrel in their basement or a raccoon in their chimney or a bird in their vent, and they need action. So we'll send our team out, figure out where the animals are getting out, humanely remove them, keep family units together, animal-proof the structure, and then give the homeowners a lifetime guarantee. They will never have to worry about having an animal in their home again.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right, so I get this red squirrel out of my basement. He's gone. His cousins are gone. His, third generation distant nephew. Nothing.
They're all gone. Right. Get them all out. Animal-proof your home.
So tell me about the particular risk of having baby animals in your house, in your attic.
Well, the problem with babies is that the adults can be very, very determined and protective. And the more animals in your attic or in your walls, the more destruction. Chewed electrical wiring, urinating, defecating, odors, ticks, fleas. Your home is your biggest investment in your life. You don't want to have animals living in your attic or walls or chimneys with you.
And as babies, so they're going to cause more damage when they're growing, or that means they're going to come back, so you have generations of these things?
Both. As they grow, they're going to get bigger and more destructive. Typically, if you have newborn baby raccoons in your attic right now, it takes 3 months until mom shows them how to get out. So that's 3 months of destruction in your attic. And then, yes, they will know that's a den site. I'm going to come back year after year after year to give birth. So the real solution, there's so many animals in our urban centers, is not to try and trap and take them away, but to animal-proof that structure so they can't get back in.
Okay, let's walk through the top two then. I'm a little selfish. I'll be a little selfish here, the red squirrel issue. So why is the red squirrel? Because they're smaller than the black squirrels and the gray squirrels. Why are they particularly
Exactly. They're very, very aggressive species. They only need an opening the size of a golf ball. Versus a black or gray squirrel the size of your fist. So they can also come in at ground level or roof line. Black and gray squirrels typically come in at the roof line. Red ones will come in ground level or roof level. So numerous spots. And, as a homeowner, you have to be very diligent walking around looking for that opening size of a golf ball.
So who are you going to call? Skedaddle. So Skedaddle comes by. What work would you or your team do on the squirrel issue? What actually happens?
The first step is doing an assessment. We do a 50-point assessment of the home, figuring out not only where they're getting in, but any future potential areas. We get the animal out, get the babies, reunite them back with the mother, and then animal-proof that home so they can't get back in.
Now, raccoons. Is the raccoon the biggest urban? Like you do small town Ontario, you do big city Ontario. Is the raccoon the biggest one in the cities?
Typically, they're getting in our structures, yes. I mean, coyotes are getting more and more in our urban centers, but the raccoon is the perfect urban animal. Our cities have been developed for raccoons. We give them the food sources, we give them the den sites, and they're flourishing. Every city, not only Toronto, we see it in Hamilton, Niagara, Kitchener, Cambridge. Any city in North America is inundated with raccoons.
So is Toronto the raccoon capital of North America, or it's spreading?
Well, that's a good moniker that Toronto likes to own. Yeah. But in our opinion, we're seeing just as many raccoons in Montreal, Ottawa, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You name it, they're all running wild with raccoons.
And would it be a similar approach? So I've got raccoons in the attic, by way of example. The same sort of approach as a squirrel, or is there a different method you use or a different risk here?
Same type of approach. It's real hands-on. We get right into that attic space, crawl around through that itchy, scratchy insulation, chase that 30-pound mother raccoon out the entry point, and then pick up those babies. So same type of process. But obviously, if you're getting a homeowner trying to do it yourself, you got to be very careful up there with an animal that could be rabid, that, you're walking on joist spaces. If you one wrong slip and you're falling through the drywall ceiling. So this type of situation is best left for professionals.
Now, I got two questions here. I'm speaking with Bill Dowd. Bill is the founder, CEO, and president of Skedaddle, Humane Wildlife Removal Services across Ontario, now in the States and the state of Wisconsin.
In the States, in Quebec, and Nova Scotia.
There you go. So I had a couple of questions came in here, which I had not anticipated. One, garter snakes. Do you do garter snakes? And number two, bats.
Yes, we do both. So snakes are coming more and more into people's homes, and once again, they'll slither in their cracks or crevices in foundations and get in people's homes, sometimes even having babies in the walls. So that is not a very common problem, but it does occur. And bats are everywhere, especially in the summer months. So bats are probably our biggest species as we get into July and August. Those are when bats are most active. Our insect population is the highest. They're very, very beneficial for the environment. If they weren't around, you and me wouldn't be able to sit outside and have a nice drink in the evening because, they control those insects for us.
Well, in fact, I like the bat show. So I've got a pool. I go out and have a drink on my deck, and I sit up and I watch the bats after the sun is going down. They're floating above my house and above the pool, getting the insects. I like to watch this. This is entertainment for me, and I hate mosquitoes, so I'm all on side with bats. But are they actually, meanwhile, causing some damage inside my house?
Well, when they get inside a structure, a bat colony could be 5, 10, 50 to hundreds of bats in your attic. And most homeowners are aware they have a bat when one flies over their head at 2 or 3 in the morning. So they'll work their way down into the living space, start flying around. People wake up screaming and run out of their house. And call us in an emergency basis, things like that.
The texts are flying in here. Okay, how about skunks? Do you do skunks? You got to do skunks. We don't want skunks in our house. In fact, wasn't your first animal a skunk?
One of the first jobs I ever did was a skunk in Niagara. Yes, exactly. Great memory.
Yeah.
Skunks can be, obviously the smell factor. When you go to work and a skunk is sprayed, typically the odor will stay on your body, and you'll go into work and people will call us saying, I've been sent home from work because I stink. So, once again, you don't want skunks underneath your deck, your shed, your porch. And once again, babies are going to be coming maybe a little later in the spring season, but baby skunks are going to be here shortly.
Yeah, maybe it's a good excuse for other problems while you smell, too. I mean, who knows? What's the oddest place where you've found baby animals?
The oddest place was probably a couple of years ago. We had a call. A homeowner went out on their balcony to get a drink out of their cooler, opened up the cooler, and a mother raccoon had given birth right inside that cooler. So that was kind of a unique one where, homeowner wasn't expecting to see that, neither were we. So that's kind of one of those unique, different spots. We've had raccoons come down, open up a damper from the fireplace, walk into the house, go into the bathtub, and give birth there as well. So.
Wow. Well, hopefully the beer wasn't touched. Okay, we got to wrap her up here. It's always great to have you on, Bill Dowd from Skedaddle. So if folks want your services, who are they going to call? Skedaddle? How do they get a hold of you?
You can reach us either online at skedaddlewildlife.com or 1-877-222-WILD.
There you go, Bill Dowd, president of Skedaddle. Okay, folks, coming up next, a real